Have you ever wondered why some people become truly successful while others, who seem just as talented, never move ahead? Most of the time, the difference is not intelligence, luck, or opportunity. The real difference is habits. This is the story of a boy named Arav, and how small daily actions completely changed his life. In a quiet little town surrounded by green fields and dusty narrow streets, Arav lived with his parents in a small house painted in fading blue. The mornings in the town were peaceful. Roosters crowed at sunrise, shopkeepers lifted their shutters, and the smell of fresh tea filled the air. But inside Arav's room, mornings were always the same. "Arav, wake up. The sun is already up," his mother would call from the kitchen. "Just 5 more minutes," he would mumble, pulling the blanket over his head. Those 5 minutes often turned into 30. Arav was not a bad student. In fact, he was bright and full of ideas. He often imagined himself standing confidently on a big stage, people clapping for him. Sometimes he pictured himself walking into a large office, wearing smart clothes, greeting important people. He wanted success. He wanted respect. He wanted a big life. But wanting and working are two different things. Instead of studying regularly, he would wait until the last moment. Instead of practicing sports daily, he would play only when he felt like it. Some days he would feel inspired and promise himself, "From tomorrow, I'll change." But tomorrow always became next week. He admired the hard-working people in his town. The shopkeeper near his house opened his store before sunrise and closed it late at night. The school teachers prepared lessons carefully and patiently guided their students. Even the local police officer walked through the streets with discipline and pride. Arav wanted to be like them. But he did not want the effort that came with it. At the edge of the town lived an old man everyone called Gopal Kaka. He was a retired army officer. His back was straight, his movements sharp, and his routine never changed. Every morning before the sky turned bright, he swept his yard, watered his plants, did push-ups, and then sat quietly reading a book. One afternoon, Arav stopped outside his house and watched him exercise. "Kaka," Arav asked curiously, "don't you get tired of doing the same things every day? Don't you ever feel like sleeping in?" Gopal Kaka wiped the sweat from his forehead and smiled gently. "Arav," he said, "habits are like seeds. If you plant good seeds every day, one day they will grow into strong trees. If you plant nothing, nothing grows. Success doesn't come from doing something big once. It comes from doing small things again and again." Arav nodded, but he didn't fully understand. Still, those words stayed in his mind. That night, he lay awake staring at the ceiling. He thought about all the half-finished notebooks, the plans he had abandoned, the promises he had broken to himself. Maybe the problem wasn't luck. Maybe the problem was him. The next morning, before his mother called him, Arav opened his eyes. It was still dark outside. His body felt heavy, and his pillow felt comfortable. For a moment, he almost turned back to sleep. Then he remembered, habits are like seeds. He forced himself to get up. He washed his face, put on his shoes, and stepped outside. The air was cool and fresh. He began to run slowly. After just a short distance, his legs felt weak and his breathing became heavy. He wanted to stop. But he didn't. He told himself, "Just a little more." The next day, he ran again. And the next. After a week, he added something new. He decided to study for 1 hour every day. Not 5 hours. Not 10. Just one focused hour. He didn't announce it to his friends. He didn't post about it. He simply chose a quiet corner of his house and studied. Some days were easy. Many days were not. There were mornings when his legs hurt from running. There were evenings when his friends called him to play cricket. There were moments when he felt bored staring at his books. But each time he felt like quitting, he remembered Gopal Kaka's words. Small seeds. Every day. Slowly, something began to change. Running became less painful. He could go farther without stopping. His breathing became steady. His body felt stronger. Studying became easier too. Concepts that once confused him started making sense. His teachers noticed he was answering more questions in class. His confidence quietly grew. Months passed. One day, the school announced a competitive scholarship program. It required students to pass both a physical fitness test and a difficult written exam. Many students were nervous. Some began studying day and night in panic. Others tried practicing running just days before the test. Orav felt nervous too, but deep inside, he felt prepared. On the morning of the physical test, dozens of students gathered on the field. When the whistle blew, many sprinted ahead with full energy. But after a few minutes, some slowed down, exhausted. Orav did not rush. He ran at a steady pace, just like he had practiced for months. Step by step. Breath by breath. When others began to give up, he kept going. He finished strong. A few days later came the written exam. Students flipped through books desperately, trying to memorize everything at the last minute. Orav sat calmly. He had studied 1 hour every day for months. He wasn't perfect, but he was ready. When the results were announced weeks later, Orav's name was among the top students. For a moment, he couldn't believe it. He ran to Gopal Kaka with tears in his eyes. "Kaka, I did it. I really did it." Gopal Kaka smiled proudly. "You did not win because of luck," he said. "You won because you showed up every day." Years passed, and Orav grew into a confident and respected professional. He achieved many of the dreams he once imagined as a lazy boy under his blanket. But he never forgot the lesson that changed his life. Big success is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in small, quiet moments, waking up when you don't feel like it, studying when you'd rather rest, running when your legs ache. You don't have to change everything at once. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Read 5 pages a day. Walk for 10 minutes. Practice one skill daily. Small actions may seem unimportant today. But repeated consistently, they shape your future. Success does not ask you to be extraordinary. It asks you to be consistent. Motivation may light the spark, but habits keep the fire burning for a lifetime.